laps, 4 lights, 5 laps. Pause. Go, go, go. And Senna sprints away, but Alain Prost takes the lead. It's happened. Alain Prost has taken the advantage. Senna is trying to go through on the inside, and it's happened immediately. This is amazing. Senna goes off in the first corner. But what has happened to Prost?
The sport that brought us all together is really Formula One. Whether the gateway drug is that infamous Netflix show or just the genuine love banded together because of this particular sport. Formula One, or F1 as some may know it to be, has been in the consciousness of the world since 1950. Marking 70 years of technical development, the sport has transcended not just the world of fast cars. We're going at this show with full and no intentions of pumping the brakes. Take off your helmets and see you in the finish line as we welcome you into. So, good evening, guys, and welcome to our show for this evening. It's just super casual for tonight, so we're just gonna look back on the year that was. Just so we can also prepare ourselves for the 2021 season. And yeah, we'll just really recall, some of the great memories from last season, whether good or bad, and we'll see from there. So I can actually start it. For me, to be honest, the most memorable highlight, I would have to say, from last year's season was Lewis Hamilton in Silverstone, finishing with literally 3 freaking wheels. So I think that was the race. Like, okay, hate the man, love the man. You gotta respect him, because that was pure skill. Finishing that race with a semi-popped off tire, man, that was crazy.
So, laugh trip nga rin nung moments na yun eh. If you hear Bono on the radio, he constantly saying Hamilton's gap to Verstappen. It keeps on decreasing. Last moment, medyo nag-squeak ng voice, yung voice ni Bono na nagpa-panic na siya.
Grabe yun.
Girl, props din to Max for really pushing that.
Yeah.
I feel like Max could have won if they didn't change his tires, but also if they didn't change his tires, it might have popped. It might have popped in the same way. But why did the tire pop anyway in the first place?
I actually don't remember. Do you remember, Camila?
I think it's because it was super warm, like the track-wise, and then the tires were like really old, and he was using medium tires.
Oh, he was using hards.
Dude, that was hards already?
He was using the hards. I think it's just the nature of the track itself made it so hard on the tires then,
Like the tire degradation.
And the loads of the tire. Kasi, like, Silverstone is a fast circuit. Like, especially Maggots and Beckett's, they're like a sequence of corners, but they're flat out, like zero, like not even stepping on the brakes.
Okay, had you guys not said that, I would have assumed it was because of the DAS. Because wasn't that like a consistent problem?
That's supposed to help with
Tire management.
Tire management. Because parang DAS allows Mercedes to kind of control how the tires are getting warmed up or getting used. Yeah.
It also helps them with corner entry. Right?
Okay.
So they could get a lot of speed, like from using gas or like lap time by adjusting gas throughout the lap.
Pero okay din naman si Max nun. Nakabawi na rin naman siya sa next race.
True.
That's true. Well,
Everyone-
yung tires naman kasi in the next race were a compound,
they made it,
they were a compound softer even, so it made it like even more interesting kasi it became kind of like a two-stop strategy-ish dapat, or it was supposed to be two-stop strategy, diba? And it was like, yeah, and they decreased. I don't remember, but they messed with the tire pressures to prevent it from happening again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And also that's the reason why the tires this year are different than Silverstone. Yeah. Because like if you were listening to F1 testing, the tires this year were like different. Anyway, Camille, what are your highlights?
I'm gonna be completely biased and say Alex Albon's podiums. First Magello, because his overtake to Daniel Ricciardo to take P3 was so nice. I mean, I love Danny Rick. I would also love it if he got P3, but I also love Alex. And Bahrain GP, like the whole thing from Roman's crash, I don't think you can like forget that easily, because we're so modern and like you don't expect people to like
cars to like explode in a flame.
Yeah.
But also Alex's podium.
I mean,
What about you guys?
For me, I think one of the highlights, even though this race was bad for Alex, was the first race of the season, Austria. And because there's just so much stuff happening, because the season was delayed for so long. 100 or something days since the last race, and then like everything was breaking down. Max's car broke down. Kimmy's tire flew off. What else?
They finished like 12 people finished or 11?
11, only 11 drivers.
It was like
finished.
11. Yeah.
Like one, like if another driver would have DNF, literally all the drivers would have had points.
That's true though.
Yeah. Austria was a good race. 70th anniversary Grand Prix also. Mugello.
I think Monza,
was really good.
just because it was like a really different podium.
Yeah, it was like a really different set of people. Like in the podium. Actually, that's like one of my highlights of the year. I guess being a McLaren fan, the chase down done by Carlos Sainz was like intense. And then like you could hear it in his voice, like he just really wanted to catch up. It was like so close. Like you could hear the team radio, and engineer would tell him the gap, and it was getting smaller and smaller. And then like when they crossed the finish line, Carlos was like, "Oh, I just needed one more lap," and I was like, "Oh my god!"
So true,
A bit more. It was like heartbreaking, but then at the same time, I'm like, "Oh my god, you got second! Like that's a good place to be."
Yeah, but like also like the team radio, he was like, "I want this win, Tom," and then, but like the exciting thing was like every lap he would get just a fraction nearer, but he couldn't. Like he would get within DRS zone, but he just couldn't overtake.
Yeah.
And it was super entertaining. Like
that was everyone like majority's race of the year, and he won.
Yeah.
It's like when they were approaching the finish line, it's like this, man.
Like almost side by side.
Yeah, that was exciting. I like Monza.
I know it was a good race in for Pierre, especially coming off from a very, very bad 2019 season where he got kicked off the the big team in Red Bull, and then to come back and prove to Red Bull basically that you made the wrong choice was very,
Yeah.
yeah,
He had
It's
to
like a
come
big
back
in your
though.
face.
yeah, it was like,
Yeah.
F you, Helmut Marko.
Yeah, and I like Pierre. I think he's just not, in the best. Well, rather, he was not. I guess in the right headspace, but then eventually, I think with 80, he's more in his skin. So I think it's better. I don't know. That's just me though.
Red
Aside
Bull has
from-
this habit of like prematurely promoting their drivers.
They do.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
were
aside
saying,
from
Gino?
Lewis,
Mhm.
Pierre driver of the year talaga last year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
did a lot of improvement.
Yeah.
Parang pag if my most improved award, probably Pierre.
Yeah, here, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would agree. I would agree. Hands down.
I guess in a way he was just trying to. I think he was trying to prove everyone wrong, like because of everyone's perception of him. That he was like demoted
Yeah.
mid-year, and then like coming into like a full season with AlphaTauri, he was like, I'm gonna prove everyone wrong.
Mhm.
Like, you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what other highlights? Oh, I don't like this highlight, but Sakir,
Oh my god.
Here.
Sakir.
Which one?
Double podium
No,
no, for
Sakir,
racing
not
point.
Brains.
The last one.
The second one, the outer loop circle.
The
Okay.
one
Yeah.
with the one with George going to Mercedes.
Yeah.
Okay.
George to Mercedes. I mean, that was the race. George was like established to Mercedes that I should be the next Mercedes driver, and like he could take the
They
fight
robbed
to,
him.
I know. It was first. Okay, first like okay, fine. Mercedes did fuck up with the. Sorry for the language, but they screwed up. They screwed up the pit stop, and then okay, it was fine because he went back to P1, diba? And then he had a slow
Yeah, I think
puncture.
so.
And then he had a slow puncture.
The racing gods are so mean.
I know.
So
Yeah.
heartbreaking.
I think like a lot of memes were like kind of blaming George not winning on Jack Aitken because I think
It was Jack's parang
yung
spin.
debris, it was debris from Jack
Yeah.
Aitken's Williams that
Yung car pa niya.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yung car pa ni
Sometimes.
George.
That's so sad.
But George aside, sobrang props to Checo.
Checo, yes.
Last
that
the
guy.
first.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Like knowing that because he spun, right? He spun in the beginning.
Yeah.
But he got hit.
He got hit
By
by
Charles.
Charles.
Yeah, that was when
And then
like
he fell
Max
to
and
the back.
yeah.
No. Like,
Yeah, sorry.
Charles tried to overtake because Charles qualified so good. Like he
Yeah.
had this magic lap out of
P4.
nowhere. P4. Like
Yeah.
With the
And then he didn't go
tractor.
back out. I remember that was the quali. Like he did like a really good lap and then he never came back out.
yeah, he was like, I don't think I can improve on that anymore. Yeah, and then Charles tried to make the best of his qualifying position, tried to overtake Checo. Yeah,
Checo.
Checo on the inside,
And then they
he ended
touched,
up
yeah.
hitting Checo, and then Max really didn't get hit. It's more like he tried to avoid getting hit, and in
And
the
then
process, he drove into the wall. Which is
It's sobrang kawawa ni Max.
strategy wise, Red Bull sucks.
Red Bull counts. But did you guys see that, like, recently, I think Mercedes talked about that Sakir pit stop, and they said that it was not that bad. And then, so many fans were saying that it was George's fault. Kasi daw, he didn't turn off the radio. Kaya, like, hindi narinig ng garage ni George about the tires and stuff. Kasi naka-on yung kay George.
What? Really?
But isn't that a radio problem and not George problem?
How is it George's fault?
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
it's George's fault. I mean, you don't expect the driver while driving a Formula One car to always like
Who cares?
be attentive and care of pressing a radio button on his steering wheel.
It's not his job to do
Yeah.
coordination for the team.
Yeah, and I mean, shouldn't the team have like functionality with their setups to disable that or at least fix it?
Yeah, like if the sporting director is gonna talk over, then the radio should prioritize the sporting director over the driver, I guess.
Yeah,
Ito
yeah.
sa Zoom, you can mute other people if you're the host.
Diba? What
Sa
more
race,
that
hindi
whole
mo
setup
pwede.
at the paddock, diba?
Low-tech pala sila.
Okay,
Zoom na lang sila.
Chino, what are your
That's
highlights?
Some would consider this like their race of the year. It was Turkey for me. So initially, that track was late resurface. So sobrang slippery, super slippery, and coupled with the rain as well.
Uh-huh.
So
And
the car can help you to an extent, but it came all down to the
Skill.
driver
Yeah.
skill.
Right.
yeah, I mean, if you watch Drive to Survive, diba, Will Buxton says that rain is the greatest equalizer in Formula
Yeah.
One.
I'm mad they didn't have an episode on that. It was such a great
Okay.
Grand Prix.
That was
So
Lance's first pole
Yeah.
pa.
Yeah, it was Lance Stroll's first pole position. Who did not
actually
expect
surprising
that.
then in
Yeah.
qualifying.
Kasi-
Both alphas Q3.
FP1, FP2,
Oh,
FP3.
yeah.
Max was P1, and then suddenly Lance comes up with a lap.
A magic lap.
Yeah, yesterday I was scared. Oh, wait lang. I feel like there's gonna be a spoiler alert for the 2021 season.
Spoiler alert! Cover your
Ito lang.
ears.
With boss right now, joke.
Never mind. For next time.
Okay.
But yeah, talking about Turkey, Stroll on pole, very surprising. McLaren's though and Ferrari out of Q2. But then pushing
Yeah.
through, finishing, ano ba yung finish na? They finished Carlos
Charles was
P5,
four.
then Lando
Four.
fastest lap as well.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
Vet was
Yeah, the
three.
big talk was
Seb finally had
that
his podium.
podium.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it was Charles's podium,
Yeah.
and then he
He
stood
locked
up.
up.
Yeah,
He locked up. I remember it was like
Yeah,
a
he-
corner.
like
That
alam mo yung, he was trying so much not to get overtaken. He missed his braking point, locked up his wheels, and opened the door for not just one but two cars to pass him.
Almost
Yeah.
3. Andun na si Carlos sa likod.
Yeah.
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 And that team radio after. Sobrang...
Yeah, that was
Yeah, like
pain.
he was super angry with himself. Yeah. But
This is
also,
not the highlight, guys. This is a low light. Why are we talking about low lights here?
no, I
Jeez.
mean,
Jeez. Just kidding.
Turkey,
Just kidding.
the race of Turkey was so interesting. The flat was full, and then
Yeah, that was
suddenly
nice.
Max was like chasing him down, like,
Yeah.
and like he was like Max was like going so fast, trying to go outside in the straight to overtake, and then
Yeah,
he
it's Checo,
spins.
right?
And then he
Yeah, on
spins.
Checo.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I think that was Checo. He was trying to overtake. He was nasa slipstream siya ni Checo.
Yeah, basta he spins.
Yeah.
And then
Sad.
so Max is back there now, and then Alex, it's a Red Bull in Turkey, were like really fast. And then so Alex, man, he's gonna try to overtake whoever was in P1, and then he spins.
It's also
for the viewers
right,
watching
magkasunod
right
pa
now.
sila.
Yeah. For the viewers watching right now, just a little tidbit. This is the same exact race where after that incident happens, Chen flips out
Yeah, I like.
of our video call.
I like.
She's nowhere to be found anymore. Because she
Just when you do
literally
your
flips out
Yeah.
just as how Max does. Or did.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
Yeah,
We were
I was like so mad.
We were like,
We'll just let
si
Chen go. Like, you know, I know you're not in a good mood.
Natulog na
so
ng maaga. But speaking,
it was such a bad race as a
Red Bull.
As an
Red Bull
RB fan.
Yeah, as a
Yeah.
if you were
Totally
a Red Bull
understandable.
fan at that point, you'd be like, oh my god,
Yeah,
what the hell is going on?
even if they're finishing positions like P6, P7, like when you hear it, like it's not so bad. They got still got points, but like they're literally the fastest car the whole weekend,
Yeah.
and they're
Yeah.
in the P6, P7.
but for the Lewis fans,
Oh,
it was
oh my god!
that was a from P6 he qualified P6.
Yeah, and then ended up
he just got
P1.
through the everyone in front of him.
Mamba mentality.
Oh my god! And the way he turned the intermediates into slicks.
Yes,
after.
yeah.
And
Crazy.
Big brain moves. Big brain.
Turkey, parang he showed everyone again that he was still the best in terms of wet weather racing. Because what Syria race number 2 qualifying, he was like so fast in qualifying kasi diba it was raining so hard,
Yeah.
and then qualifying it was still raining, and then like how was the gap sa qualifying nung Syria? Basta alam ko it was like super huge from like P2.
I just like wet races.
Yeah, what races
Yeah.
are
They're like super exciting.
Yeah, I remember few Spa, on the weekend of Spa, diba, parang there was one practice session ata na hindi natuloy because it was raining.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
raining like really hard. It was raining really
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah, and then me and Camila we got so excited now. It's oh my god, it's gonna rain in Spa, it's gonna rain. Sunday comes and
And it didn't rain.
No highlights at
Right?
all. Hambot ver. Oh my god. Or bumawi naman Monza the week after, so
Yeah.
yeah.
kind of many
Yeah.
highlights. What are your other highlights?
Well, of course, my year's highlights, none other than Daniel Ricciardo, back on the podium, I guess. Nürburgring and Imola, am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I
it
was
was
so
it was so
continue.
exciting. I guess like like when I was watching it, my favorite line of it is like, "Holy mac and cheese balls." He has a way with words. Am I right? It was like,
poet.
I guess yeah, yeah. What a poet! And I guess it was so exciting, like knowing that like his last podium was still with the Red Bull, and then like he did that like the controversial move to Renault.
Yeah.
I
And then,
remember
like-
right, his last podium was his last win. When
Yeah, it was a win.
2018 Monaco.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2018
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Monaco.
So it's been
And
2
then, like,
years since he was on a podium.
long overdue, and then like the first one he forgot a shoey, and then the second one he did it with Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, so impressive. But he got Lewis to do a shoey.
Yeah.
When Lewis a year or 2 years before, Lewis
In
was
an
like,
interview, he
Yeah,
said
he
he
was
was
like-
never gonna do it.
yeah, because it was literally some
Unhygienic.
someone
Yeah, in
else's.
the middle of a
And then,
pandemic.
And then he did it
Exactly.
during a pandemic. Yeah, right.
Oh my god.
I guess it was a good like boost. It's like I feel like it put a smile on everyone's faces. Like you can just like you may not be like a super fan. Yeah, you don't have to be a super fan to find that like really cute and funny.
I mean, I think everyone was cheering because there was a bet on the line as well.
Yeah,
Too of cereal.
and now Cyril fired because
Oh.
he doesn't. Hindi naman fire, but no. I mean, he left pala. I mean, like
I mean,
Did he?
I mean,
he's shy
we don't
to.
really.
He's shy.
I think we'll really never be sure if he was fired or he quit.
Or he left. Yeah.
Yeah,
Left.
Because
Yeah.
left, quit. Because they asked about this actually to Laurent Mekis, not Laurent Mekis. But the new racing director for Alpine / Renault was, well, what happened to Cyril? Why didn't he come back? And then that was the question. And then the answer was, I can't talk about it.
Bam! Scandal.
Baka miss niya ni si Daniel.
Ah.
We love
Sobrang
Daniel. We all do.
connected. Yeah, totoo.
Heartbroken. Masyado siyang heartbroken.
Yeah, Daniel's just a really cool guy to be a fan of in
Yeah.
F1.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's hard to not be a fan of DR.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a
I guess
cool
like
dude.
his social media presence is also kind of fun. Like
Yeah,
even outside of F1, you're gonna like watch his vlogs and like the things that he posts. They're actually pretty entertaining.
yeah.
Which race was this? When Lewis got someone's first place trophy. I think
By
Max's first
accident.
place.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
accidentally took Max's trophy. I remember this. It's like everyone was saying like he's so used to bringing the first
Yeah.
that he
Oh,
accidentally
70th
took someone
anniversary.
else's.
Yeah,
70th anniversary. Yeah, 70th anniversary. Grand Prix.
I thought that's so
Ah.
funny.
Yeah.
That was so funny.
Sobrang routine na eh.
And then like he came back and he was like, oh wait.
But
I
which
got
was
that
the
wrong.
race where he won? As in, became
British.
7-time.
Ay, Portugal.
Portugal.
Ay, wait.
Portugal.
7-time was Turkey. Yeah. Doon naging champion. Portugal was race record.
The 92.
Yeah.
So
That was
he
nice
matched
too.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many things happening.
Yeah, I did. So many things.
I have an honorable mention.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
But-
Nico Hulkenberg.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, Drive to Survive ignored him.
Literally
Or-
zero airtime.
Sobrang
Yeah.
sayang yung he qualified P3 in Silverstone pa.
Yeah. And like literally the only screen time he gets in Drive to Survive season 3 was in the background. You could see
He was like waving or something.
you could see like they were just walking along the paddock yung camera and then
Pang transition.
I know, and then yung background goes to the paddock and yung motorhomes of the drivers, and it was just Nico's face, and then that's it. And then Tech Bureau mentioned that Nico was supposed to drive.
Drove for, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
super sad.
It's so funny that like he has points as compared to like the regular drivers
Yeah.
for the whole year.
Yeah.
Like Nicholas Latifi.
George.
Dude,
Hey,
Drive to
George has
Survive
points.
makes So many things.
George got points.
Oh yeah,
Technically,
George got
but not
George
for
got
Williams.
points. Hey, put some
Not
respect
for
on his name.
Williams.
Got the points in the saddest movie.
Yeah, P8 pala. I forgot he was P8 in Bahrain.
Yeah, that's my boy.
But it wasn't for Williams. But yeah, I mean, you still gotta give that. Yeah, points for points.
What's the race where that was Claire Williams' last? That was also the
Monza.
one where.
Monza.
Okay, yeah.
Monza na ata.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
also why people like Monza a lot.
They also ignored
Williams
Sunday to Doroton Capital. When literally season 1, season 2, Williams had an episode dedicated to themselves. And then season 3,
To them.
Yeah.
when it really mattered, they didn't have an episode.
Yeah, I guess they were too focused on like Racing Point being like irritating.
And I guess making a fake rivalry with Lando and Carlos.
Oh my gosh, that was like the whole time like everyone would be like Yeah, like him moving, it's like frustrating, and then like there's like some bad blood. It's like
Yeah, and he's
no,
gonna regret it. Ganyan, ganyan.
they were literally playing golf like a couple weeks back.
Yeah.
And never mind. With Lando waving at Charles.
Yeah, it's like Lando's like he's like such a friendly person. I'd like to think based off of like his personality
Yeah.
that he shows. Yeah, that he shows on social media. He seems to not have like any quarrels with anyone. Anyway.
I swear that was the longest episode ever. Even though it was like 20 something minutes long, it felt longer than the Bahrain episode that was an hour long. When I was watching it, it felt so long. Any more highlights you guys wanna highlight?
I guess like well, it's not really a highlight, but like I feel like you gotta talk about it, like Roman Grosjean's
Yeah.
crash.
Yeah.
I guess in a way it's important because it shows that the safety measures that have been made
Yeah.
in like innovations. Like I think the other day I was looking at photos of old F1 cars like for the past years, and like when there was no halo yet. And if you think about it, like if the halo wasn't there, what would have happened if that crash happened? Like the first responders that were like right behind him.
Did you
and got
guys
him out.
read the FIA report, the full report on the crash? Because I read it.
On the crash?
Yeah, I read the full report on the crash, and it basically the conclusion was everything safety from barriers, halo, the racing suit, the survival cell, everything contributed
Contributed
on being
to him
alive.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's dope.
If you think about it,
if you want to race for F1, they're gonna think that you have a death wish.
Yeah. The adrenaline, the speed, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess thinking about it now from the perspective of the other drivers, like they had to race after that.
Yeah.
Like
Knowing that
the
happened.
mentality, the mentality na parang anyone else. Like
I mean, I
there's
guess it
20
just
of
shows
them.
that they're so good in compartmentalizing. So
Yeah.
just shut off that part first, focus on the race.
Let's worry about it later.
And I distinctly remember watching the YouTube video where they interviewed the drivers post race, and almost like 99% of the interviews were like, yeah, I mean, it was a good race, blah blah, but I'm just happy that Roman is okay. Like it always concludes, or at least there's a portion where they say at least Roman is okay. And for me, that's nice also because it kind of shows like the camaraderie of the driver. Yes, they're competitors, but also like they have each other's backs, And yeah, I think that was nice.
And I guess a part of that is something that Drive to Survive doesn't cover. Like, I mean, there's just plenty of them. They can't all just be enemies. Like,
Yeah.
like all of them. Like, yeah, they are competing, but at the same time, I feel like there's still that kind of camaraderie amongst them. Hey, like we're here, and I'm pretty sure that they're just happy to be there all together. And of course, yeah, they're happy that Roman's okay and nothing happened to him.
Yeah, I saw this like photo before because Niki Lauda, diba? He got into an accident in 1976, burned, and like, my God, like if you see the pictures of Niki Lauda, half his face burned.
Like third degree, no?
Yeah, third degree burn, and
It's the worst guy.
like, and then like there was a picture of his helmet, and it was like burnt, and then and then it was like a comparison of like Roman's helmet and how Roman was so different because Roman didn't even like Roman looked completely fine except for his hands, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was like just his gloves, and then he had a missing
Yeah,
shoe.
he was doing that
And
when
then
he
yeah.
got out.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
like I think his hands were burnt, and then like other than
His
that,
gloves
you're like,
were black.
okay, like you know,
Yeah, his gloves
Yeah.
were black.
it was like I guess like I guess in terms of safety measures, I feel like they've come a very long way.
You know,
From
and
like what they were before.
during F1 testing, during F1 testing this year, the commentators are just usually just like chatting, and then they were talking about, well, no, well, I want to try this generations of next year's generation of F1 cars, because next year's cars are gonna be different. And then they were like, the commentator was like kind of complaining about, he tried driving one of the more current cars, the amount of downforce there is, and stuff. And he was like, I didn't get scared. And then he was like, but when you ride a Formula One car, you have to kind of be scared. But also, I thought, but isn't that a good thing? That you're not scared of riding a Formula One car?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Diba?
yeah. I was listening to this podcast of for F1 off the grid, and they were interviewing Charles, and the interviewer asked him, "Do you ever get scared when you drive, and how do you handle that?" And I remember Charles responding, "The day I get scared to drive a Formula One car is the day I stop driving." And I think that makes sense also, because when you let the fear consume you, that's gonna affect like your whole race, your mentality, just your
Performance, yeah.
disposition.
You're not gonna brake as late as you used to. You're not gonna
Yeah,
full throttle in a corner, in a 90-degree corner that can be full throttle.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess
I feel like the kind of confidence.
I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
On a more positive note, not on Roman's crash.
Well, it's kind of positive naman.
Yeah, it's positive because
Because
Roman's alive.
Yeah.
And the safety measures are working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, okay. I think
I guess like we're happy
Pretty-
to see that the year. Yeah.
I think it's a pretty
Yeah, go ahead.
positive note. And I don't think all F1 fans are gonna agree with me. But it's good that F1 is getting into like ending racism, racing as one.
Right.
We race as one campaign, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there are still steps they could do to be better for sure. I mean, I don't want to get into the whole hashtag we say no to maspin.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a step, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, for a very promotion-driven sport, the hashtags, the labels, all the shirts, the merch, it plays into it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it's good that like in a more positive way, they're actually using their platform, to actually share the things that can be highlighted, that should be highlighted, parang in the given.
And later in the race, because when we're filming this, it's the first race of the 2021 season. But later,
Timestamp.
I read the pre-race director's race director's notes, and we're still gonna have the races one meal stand ceremony
Nice.
before the race.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
I'm so excited for the race later.
Same.
There's so many variables. Okay, but-
Yung pala, all that for a Mercedes 1-2.
oh my god, no, please.
No. It's a Motorham bot now.
Alright. Well, I don't know. I guess Jason, you could close it.
All right. Yeah, well, we talked about a lot of highlights, several lowlights also for some people. I guess it depends on, from which perspective you're looking at it. And yeah, I guess that just also emphasizes how exciting Formula One is. That there's really a lot of it. that number one, you can learn from, number two, that you can really absorb and enjoy. And I think that's part of the beauty of the sport. Having a lot of experiences and moments that you can look back on. We as a group, we do our research sometimes, but I would like to believe most of the things we talked about, they were really just from raw memory, and I think that speaks to how memorable those moments were from last season, and how excited we are also for the new moments that will come about with this upcoming F1 2021 season. So that's it for us today. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. Again, you can follow our socials and hit the subscribe button and click that bell as well for more notifications on our channel. So that's it for us here in the Vroom Room. I hope you guys also tune in to the first race of the season tonight, and let's all hope our team wins.
Bye.
Alright.
3 lights, 4 lights, 5 laps.